So let's talk about a single habit that seems to connect some of the world's highest achievers, CEOs, elite athletes, you name it. And that habit is waking up at 4 a.m. But what's the real story here? Is this some kind of secret weapon, or is it just the latest productivity trend that's all hype? Well, let's get into it.
I mean, that's the real question, isn't it? Why would anyone choose to get up before the sun even thinks about rising? While pretty much the entire world is still fast asleep, this small group of people are already up getting a head start. And it's not just about getting more hours in the day. It's about the quality of those hours. So what do they know that we don't?
And look, this isn't just a one-off thing. You've got Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, clearing out his inbox before most of us have even hit snooze. You have Olympian PV Sindhu on the court, training by 4:30 a.m. This habit cuts across completely different fields, from tech to sports to mindfulness. When you see a pattern like that, you start to think, okay, there's got to be something more going on here. But let's be real for a second, it's easy to roll your eyes at this. Is it just another hustle culture trend made for a cool social media post? Or is there a real, practical, maybe even scientific reason that these people have tapped into? That's exactly what we're going to figure out. Okay, so to get our answer, we have to go deeper than just the headlines. We need to look at the science. Because it turns out this idea of waking up super early isn't some new fad. It's actually rooted in both ancient traditions and, believe it or not, our own modern biology. Let's break down why the specific time of day is so incredibly powerful. What's really fascinating is that this isn't a new idea from Silicon Valley. For literally thousands of years, Eastern philosophies have talked about a special window of time called Brahma Muhurta. It's this 96-minute period right before sunrise that's seen as the absolute best time for deep focus and mental clarity. And this is where it gets crazy. Modern neuroscientists, with all their advanced tools, have identified this exact same period, just before dawn, and they call it the neural mobility window. This is the time when your brain is naturally at its most plastic, its most creative, and its most quiet. So what's actually happening inside your body at this time? Well, it's pretty simple, really. As the sun gets ready to rise, melatonin, the hormone that keeps you asleep, starts to decrease. At the very same time, cortisol, your body's natural wake-up signal, begins to gently rise. This handoff puts your brain in a really special transitional state. So on one side, you have this ancient idea of the sattva state, which is described as a state of pure clarity and balance. And on the other side, modern science calls it alpha dominance, a state of relaxed, creative focus with very little mental chatter. They're literally two different ways of describing the exact same powerful mental zone. And this leads us to something absolutely crucial. What you do in this state basically programs your brain for the hours that follow. Your brain has this filter, right? It decides what to pay attention to. If you grab your phone and start scrolling, you're telling that filter, hey, let's be distracted and reactive today. But if you choose quiet focus, you're training it for deep work. So you see, this isn't some kind of productivity magic. It's much simpler. It's about biological alignment. It's about syncing up your own internal body clock with the natural rhythm of the planet. And in doing so, you tap into a huge advantage that's already built into your DNA. All right, the science is pretty convincing, right? But just knowing why it works isn't enough. I mean, if it's so great, why do so many people try it and then just stop? The answer is that they're missing a system. So let's move from the theory to a real, practical plan you can actually use. Because let's be honest, here's the statistic. About 90% of people who try the 4 a.m. challenge quit within a week. And you know why? They're running on pure motivation. And motivation is a feeling that comes and goes. You don't need motivation. You need a rock-solid system. And that whole system is built on this one simple rule. If you take away anything from this, let it be this. You have to fix your night before you can even think about fixing your morning. Your 4 a.m. morning doesn't start when the alarm goes off. It's won or lost the night before. So here's the nightly plan, and it's non-negotiable. An hour before bed, all screens have to go off. That blue light messes with your sleep hormones. Next, eat a light, early dinner so your body isn't working on digestion all night. And this one's huge. Put your phone physically away from your bed. And please don't try to go from a midnight bedtime to 8 p.m. overnight. Just shift it earlier by 20 minutes every few days. Now, for the morning itself, the biggest mistake people make is either jumping straight into hard work or grabbing their phone. Your brain is still waking up. For the first 45 minutes, just focus inward. Drink some water, stretch, meditate, journal, whatever. keep it quiet. Then, after that, you can turn your attention outward to planning your day, doing some deep work, or getting a workout in.
Okay, I get it. This can all sound really intense and overwhelming, so let's change how we think about this. This isn't about creating some punishing, lifelong rule for yourself. Let's just frame it as a personal, 30-day experiment. The only goal is self-discovery.
That's it. The commitment is just for 30 days. Anyone can do something for 30 days, right? The point isn't to perfectly succeed or to fail. The point is just to collect data on yourself. For 1 month, you're the scientist and your own life is the experiment. And as you do this, you're just going to observe. No judgment, just notice. How's your energy in the afternoon? What's your general mood like? Are you actually getting more done? Do you feel like you're sleeping better? The answers to these questions will tell you everything you need to know.
Because at the end of the day, this is the real secret. The incredible benefit doesn't come from just changing a number on your alarm clock. It comes from intentionally building a whole new operating system for your life. One that begins the night before and sets you up for success before the day has even started.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. If you could give yourself 1 golden hour of pure, uninterrupted focus every single morning, before the emails, before the notifications, before the world starts making demands, what would you do with it? What could you build?